Yakov, appreciate you being here. Sayin, as in Julian, has similar build to Joe Montana, just saying.
That's an interesting one because I've had people ask me, like just yesterday, give me a comp for him. And I was trying to come up with something physically, body wise, and I said Stetson Bennett, and people didn't like that. But I think the Joe Montana thing is really interesting because they're both, Joe Montana, I think was like 6'2", 200-ish, and nothing special. Julian Sayin now probably close to like 210, 6'1", and does not look like your strapping NFL quarterback, but that's why Joe Montana was, the third rounder. And of course, going to Notre Dame didn't help. You don't throw the ball there. But that's pretty interesting one. And I'm not going to get into the comparing the pocket awareness, which Julian's saying is pretty good at, and the mobility in terms of finding room to throw the ball. But when I saw that, I did like that comparison, at least in terms of the build.
Saying to me, you see the picture of him getting his black stripe taken off, and here's Devin Brown on one side and Will Howard on the other. It kind of looked like I said Baker Mayfield kind of standing in the middle. And, if he turns out like Baker Mayfield, I think everybody'd be happy. Although Baker Mayfield, to my recollection, never did win the national championship at Oklahoma, but still outstanding player. So, what we're finding out is to win these all elusive national championships, you got to be great on offense, defense, and special teams. And Ohio State has had one of the three in each of the last several seasons, but never all three together at one point. So maybe this will be the year where they put it all together.
I boycott doing comps just because I'm never good at them, and it's just so difficult to do them. So I learned a long time ago just to stop doing them.
Well, besides the punch in the party after the game or the scrimmage, Kevin, what else do you want to see on Saturday?
I'm going to be interested to see how they go about allotting some of the reps. I mean, we know that the Trevion Hendersons of the world will be in there during the thud period, and that'll be about it. Let me see what we determine the second team secondary. I mean, obviously guys like Jermaine Matthews and Malik Hartford are known quantities, but where do things kind of go from there? Does Ohio State go super vanilla, one, because you're not going to put a lot of complex things in there just due to teaching time, two, because you don't want to put a lot of stuff on tape, or does Ohio State go the other direction and just go nuts and just like, all right, well, we've got a team that we feel that can do everything, so we're gonna give everybody who's watching this on Big Fox, not a regional Fox, not FS1, on Big Fox, an opportunity to see us go out and try a lot of these things. It doesn't mean, when you do gadget plays and things like that, it doesn't, you don't have 100% completion rate. And if you're Ohio State special teams, you have a 0% completion rate. I'll be curious to see how close to vanilla they play some of these things. And again, I want to see what linebacker looks like beyond Cody, beyond Sonny, beyond CJ. I want to see Gabe Powers. I want to see a little bit more out of that position, because for whatever reason, the couple of practices they've let us see, they've kept linebackers so far away from us. I have zero comments about linebacker with my own eyes because I've not been able to see anything.
Steve, anything on Saturday that you're looking out for?
Yeah, a lot of the same things. I think offensive line rotations and what that looks like and how good that looks. You want to see clean pocket, let the guys make plays. Obviously, of course, you're also rooting for the defense if you're an Ohio State fan, and you want to see them make plays as well. But really, what held this team back last year was the offensive line. So if the offensive line can show a level of competence in this game. And I don't know how exotic things will get with blitzes and different things like that. They threw the kitchen sink at them the day we were there for the student appreciation. They were bringing corner blitzes, safety blitzes, linebacker blitzes, and different pass rush schemes at the offensive line, and they weren't handling them all that well. So that's what I want to see. I want to see some competence up front. They talked about the two tackles, how Josh Simmons is now comfortable with the offensive scheme. He had the physical attributes last year, but was not completely confident. You could tell how tentative he was with the false starts and the different things that happened. And by the end of the year, he was a little bit better player than he was at the beginning. And then Josh Fryer, they talked about with him leaning up. And that means like getting lean, not eating, watching his diet, improving his footwork, improving his agility. And he had the mastery of the offense. He just didn't have the athletic tools to contain a speed rusher at times. So they talked about those two guys, how they've taken a full step forward, and that's great. What's left unsaid is whether next week they're going to be out there scouring in the portal for another Josh Simmons type in the aftermarket to come in and make the offensive line even better. So, good right now, great is what they need. So we'll see how it plays out.
I want to see Jeremiah Smith do something so that everybody gets to see what we've seen and what we've been told about, and so that you can see the excitement there. But that's also if that happens, there's already a ton of hype. So sometimes can there be too much hype? Can this be too much for a player? Like with Julian Sayin getting his black stripe, I asked Ryan Day, is there a danger in doing that in terms of you've got other guys in the room and they're seeing this happen? And he said, like, they already know, like they see they're at every practice. They know what guys are doing. But if I'd like to see Jeremiah Smith go off so that everybody can see that it's not just been bloviation or we're just hyping somebody up. Like this, he's been special from what we've seen and what we've all been told. So seeing that, obviously we're all going to decide who the starting quarterback is based on how Devin Brown and Will Howard do. And God forbid they struggle and Julian Sayin lights it up, because the next 6 months or whatever, 4, 5, 6 months before camp starts is going to be it's going to be a lot of talk about a freshman quarterback, which I guess, again, good for numbers. So, hey, go for it.
I guess if Chip Kelly understands the entertainment value of the spring game, they'll throw like 48 fades to Jeremiah Smith in the corner, hoping that there are some poorly thrown passes and he can do something crazy.
That's a pretty interesting thought, because this is going to be the biggest spring game that Chip Kelly has ever been a part of. They've already got 50,000 tickets sold. They're expecting it's going to be like 65 and sunny. So no reason you can't get to 90,000. Just bring a windbreaker or whatever, bring a jacket. But I wonder, like, will he get caught up in it as well?
I just want to say this too, that just get ready for the overreactions coming out of this. If the offense looks really good, it's because the defense sucks. If the defense looks really good, it's because the offense sucks. There is no combination where you can have the slider set to where it's like everybody's going to be happy. I mean, it could be 50-50 down, like 50.000000000 down the middle. It's like, well, both units suck. I mean, so I'm here for the overreactions.
Yeah, somebody responded to something I had to say on X/Twitter the other day with that. Are you kidding me? This offense isn't going to be anything close to. And then they listed a bunch of Buckeye greats, Ezekiel Elliott be one of the most recent ones. And I said, well, everyone you're naming was not that guy at the point that the season started in all those seasons that you just cited.
And the year after, in 2015, when Ezekiel Elliott was a known quantity, that offense was not good. So, and Curtis Samuel started a game at running back in 2014 before Ezekiel Elliott took off as a true freshman. So, it's, well, nobody's as good as the greats. And it's like, well, like you said, Mark, nobody was calling them the greats. Nobody called 2014 the great team until they actually won it all. And it was like, I can't believe they just got away with this. Now they're one of the all-time greats.